Namaste. So, very simple practice for you guys, beginner friendly practice. Even if there are certain things that you may not be able to do, I am going to give you even more elaborate cues and even more simpler breakdowns for some of the tougher movements during the Surya Namaskar. Always remember not to over force yourself or over apply yourself. क्षमता अनुसार practice करें and keep safety as a very important aspect of your practice when you develop any movement habit. So, let's start. If you can bring your feet together, you may bring your feet together, otherwise keep your feet slightly apart. Check your pelvis. Make sure that you are not dropping water from the waist. Try to keep your pelvis neutral. Lengthen your waist. Lengthen the back of the neck. Tuck your chin very gently, lengthening the back of the neck, dropping the shoulders down. Keeping your hands relaxed. Keeping your face relaxed. If you feel an overwhelming sense of imbalance, you may bring your feet slightly apart. But doesn't matter, feet apart or feet together. Stand steady. Lengthen away from the ground. The whole body extending up, only the shoulders extending down. We are going to close our eyes. You may feel a sense of imbalance and nausea. If your capability allows, try to keep your eyes closed. Otherwise, you may open your eyes. Relax your forehead, relax your cheeks. Lengthen your hip, lengthen your waist. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Keeping the fingertips relaxed. We will open our eyes very slowly, come into Namaskar Mudra. We will chant Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varehyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Chale. Keeping your feet slightly apart. Soften your knees. Check your pelvis. Lengthen your waist. Relax your shoulders. Keeping the shoulders relaxed without hiking your shoulders up. Raise your arms up very gently and bring the palm forward. And we will start it very softly. Open and close your palms. Imagine a sponge full of water in your hands and squeeze the water out of the sponge. Stop and turn your palms, palms facing out, wrist facing in. Bring your wrist bones together. As much as possible, try to keep the wrist bones together as we create rotation in the wrist, elbows and the shoulders simultaneously. Check your feet, pointing forward, soft knees, waist tall, shoulders relaxed, shoulders away from the ears. And change rotation. And Viran. Relax your arms. Open, close your hands. And shake it off. We are going to step out with a gap of one leg distance apart, pointing our feet slightly out. We will bring the hip a little back first and then open the thighs out to sit into an elephant stance. So, feet pointing out, we will bring the hip back gently and sit into an elephant stance, and then if you notice that forward lean, to remove this forward lean, we will tuck the pelvis in to stay upright. Now, on an inhale, we are going to take our hands back, open the chest. On an exhale, we will open the back. On an inhale, we're going to open the chest. On an exhale, we're going to open the back. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, close your chest, open the back. Inhale, exhale. We'll change movement. Inhale, bring the arms out. We are going to open the chest. Exhale, extending the hands forward, close your chest. Inhale, open your chest, look up. Exhale, extend your hands forward, open your back. One last time. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, close. Let's do it one more. Come on. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, close. Inhale, raise your arms up. Hold steady. Exhale, we are going to move side to side. One leg straight, one leg bent. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. On an inhale, we are going to come up. Exhale. Come on up. Relax. Bring your feet slightly closer in together. And we are going to start with our twists. So, we can start the movement gently with the hands and then power the movement of the hand with your hip. Pivot on your feet side to side. Kidney tapping. And slowing down. Relax. Shake it off. Shake off your hands. Simple exercise. Cross the barrier. We are going to create an imaginary barrier. If you have blocks, you can give yourself a cue by keeping blocks over each other. Or you can just imagine a barrier right in between your mat and we will just cross over the barrier. Soft steps without making a lot of sound. Visualize your thigh bone moving into the hip socket. Very conscious, very purposeful, soft, slow movements. Have a sense of control. Let's do it one last time. And relax. We are going to start with our fake jumps. Start loosening the joints, start loosening the skin, start loosening the muscles. Very relaxed movement. We're going to pull the hip back and let the hip push the arms up. Push the arms up. Resist forward movement of the knees. Pay attention to the hinge, soft hinge in your hip. And changing rhythm, bringing the hands from the front this time. Let the hands carry the hinge back and let your hinge propel your arms up. Resist forward movement of the knees. Work with the hip joint. Moving the head with the body. Don't keep looking at the same place. You may cramp your neck. And viram. Shake it off. We will start with our 3-step Surya Namaskar practice first, moving on, adding more postures into the sequence. So, keeping your feet approximately shoulder width apart, keeping the knees soft. Tuck the hip, not forward, down. Tuck the pubic bone down, lengthen the waist up. Shoulders down, back of the neck tall, arms very relaxed. Don't worry about the breath for now. We are going to start with mid-bending. Mid-bending, chest parallel to the ground. Inhale, exhale. Stretch up. Strong hinge. Bend forward. Stretch up. Strong hinge, bend forward. You may not reach the ground, does not matter. You can also do the movements with your blocks where you just aim to reach till the blocks. Again, exaggerate and emphasize on the pull from the hip rather than the depth of your upper body. Let's do it one more time, and we're going to hold the posture steady. We'll stretch up and pull actively into a hinge. Now, if you have blocks, this exercise becomes very efficient for us. So, if you have blocks, please use blocks, or you may keep your hands on the ground. Shifting our weight one leg at a time, we are going to step one leg back. Once forcefully tear the mat, push into the earth and pull yourself forward. Change. Opposite leg back. Tear the ground. Resist the back movement or too far forward movement of the knee. Try to keep your knee stable above the heel and change. And change. And change. And change. Slowly bring the block down, put your hand on the ground first before you bring the knee. Never use blocks when going down, the blocks may slip and hurt your wrists. Now, coming into a tabletop stance, we are going to bring our hands forward. In the first movement, we are going to try and spread our mat. Second movement, squeeze the mat. Third, drag. Fourth, climb on top. Let's try one more time. Movement number 1. Spread the mat. Movement number 2, squeeze the mat. Movement number 3, drag, press and climb. One more time. Spread the mat, squeeze the mat, drag, press and climb. Sit on top of your toes. If this posture becomes inaccessible for you, a very easy way to do it is just keep your hands. You can repeat the same exercises in your Namaste positions. If your wrists are hurting, don't put them on the floor. Just try to use your table. You can even use your table to create same activations in your wrist muscles. So movement number 2, palms facing out, fingers facing out, fingers very widely pulled apart. Gently shifting your weight from one knuckle to the other. Observing all the bones of the palm, pressing firmly into the fingertips. Changing rotation. Never do the movements in a rush. Take your time. It's better to practice less movements than to try rush. And relax. Close open your hands. Movement number 3, last one. Bring your fingers pointing back. Flip your palm, turn your palms, palms facing down, fingers pointing back. Press into the thumb strongly first. Press into your fingertips strongly first. Gently shifting your weight forward and back. Claw your fingertips in the ground and Viran. Shake it off. Close open. We will start with exercise number 1. Movement number 1, from table. From table, we move into a short plank. From a short plank, we pull the thigh bones out and we squeeze our elbows down. We extend the legs to push ourselves forward. Forcefully pulling back. Your legs forcefully pushing you forward. Forcefully pulling back. Your legs forcefully pushing you forward. Now, if you already finding challenge and discomfort in this movement, please do not move on to the next movement. Stay and do some sets and repetitions in this. If you are comfortable with it, then we are going to move in movement number 2. From the down position, we are going to extend the legs fully this time, pressing ourselves forward without waiting too long. We will come down as slowly as possible. And extending the hip, we're going to push ourselves up. One more time, we will very forcefully pull ourselves down and very forcefully extend the legs to propel ourselves forward. Relax your neck here. And one last time, we're going to pull ourselves back like a rubber band. I'm going to keep pulling my hips back, keep pulling my hips back, tucking the pelvis in without dropping my hip. I will gently place myself on the ground. The Y Stretch Cobra. Hands out to your sides, palms slightly turning up. 1 inch at a time. We're going to extend our chest, pulling into these imaginary levers, lifting your chest 1 inch at a time. Pull 1, pull 2, pull 3, lengthen forward. Let's do it one more time. Pull 1, pull 2, pull 3, lengthen forward. Let's do it one last time. Pull 1, pull 2, pull 3. Hold steady. Try to keep your last rib towards the ground. Protect your lower back. Squeeze your glutes. Look around. And lay down on your stomach. Breathe strongly in your belly. Push your stomach out like a balloon with each breath. Keep pushing the abdomen out as you breathe. Relax. Keeping your hands to your sides, we are going to lift our belt off the ground. We're going to tuck our hip. Use the legs to push and pull yourself back and sit cross-legged. Keep your feet forward, chest up, waist tall. Raise your arms up, start leaning back. Now you can hold the posture here. You do not have to go into the next transition. If you feel comfortable Then you may try to draw one leg off the ground. Otherwise, hold the posture. If your leg is off the ground, you may change. Moving forward, catch your breath, relax. One more time, lengthening upwards, drawing yourself back, either repeating the previous posture with one leg, or you may try to draw both your feet off the ground. Always keep your neck relaxed, keep the shoulders down, keep the back tall, and pull yourself forward to come back to center. We will do it one last time. Again, actively drawing yourself back. You may repeat the previous postures, or if your flexibility allows, you may try to stretch the legs straight for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross your legs as you pull yourselves forward and come into a tabletop posture. Now, those of you who complain that it becomes absolutely hard for you to keep going up and down over and over again, then you don't need to, once we are done with our Bhujangasana once we are done with our Naukasana to engage our torso, you may skip that movement where we are lowering down. And instead of lowering yourselves down, you can, on an inhale, raise your chest up, and on an exhale, lift the middle back up. On an inhale, we raise the chest up. On an exhale, we pull through the middle back. Or you can even sit down, lay down, and turn around for your Bhujangasana series of postures. You don't have to add every posture every time. You can always skip a few transitions or add more transitions in between your postures. Going back to tabletop posture. First, lean slightly forward. Draw your knees off the ground. Push your thigh bones out. Open the hip. Without changing the structure of the legs, we start hinging the hip back, and at a point the hip forces the knee to extend. Our legs will not extend fully. We still have a micro bend in our legs. Neck relaxed, armpits closed. We will go down very softly, very softly. Your knees don't know where the ground is. You just pay attention to softly going down. When the ground will come, you will land. One more time, knees off the mat, hips open, strong hinge. Keeping the neck relaxed, armpits closed. Don't over-engage. And softly going down. One last time, we will hold the posture steady this time. We're going to lift the knees up, open the hips out, and hinge. Holding the posture steady, relax your neck, move around. Now, come back to center. Bring your feet slightly out, probably outside the mat. Start walking your hands back. Sit into a squat first before you stand, and come back to the top of the mats again. Let's continue from here. Feet slightly apart, toes pointing forward, arms relaxed, neck relaxed. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, pull, Uttanasana. One leg pull back, heel off the ground. Use your hip to come on up. Turn your pelvis. Inhale, stretch up, Santulasana. Keep your weight shifting forward. strong extension in the back leg. Create a pulling sensation as you exhale. Pull yourself forward and down. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, switch sides. On an inhale, turn your pelvis as you come up into Santolasana. Strong extension in the back leg, pelvis rising up. On an exhale, pull forward. Forward, forward and down. Uttanasana. We are going to place our palms down, step into Dandasana, or you may go down on your knees right away from here. Now, if you go on your knees right away, you may use Marjariasana as your spinal release, or if you are in a plank, we may push the thigh bones out, pull the hip back. Bring your knees on the ground, tucking your pelvis, push forward. Tuck your pelvis again and lift your chest up, moving back into table, knees up, hips open, Svanasana. Neck loose, armpits close. Inhale, exhale. Now, bending the heel of my right leg. Bend the knee. Turn the hip fully before you extend the leg straight up. Pulling through the hip to step forward. Do not let your pelvis drop, rising up into Santolasana. Taking a big breath, be in the tallest stance you can be in. And on an exhale, pull yourself forward and down, back into slightly bent-legged Svanasana. Bending the opposite leg, bringing your heel to the hip. Turn the hip fully before you extend the leg up straight. Lift the hip, draw your knee into your chest as we step forward, trying to keep the knee stacked over the ankle, using the pelvis to rise on up. Take one nice breath here, inhale, exhale. Now, you may step into a forward bend, or we can try the squat stance again. We can try to squat down and use the hip to gently hop right behind your hands. Don't have to come all the way in, you can come right behind your hands and sit, push the earth away, stretch up. Vedanta. Let's start again. Feet slightly apart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rising through the pelvis, coming up, Tadasana. Forcefully pulling yourself back on an exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, inhale, look up. Exhale, stepping the left leg back. Toes pointing forward, heel on the ground. Push the hip forward slightly as you lift your sword for Veer Pradrasana. Pressing strongly into the heel of your back leg, trying to tear the ground with your front leg. Using your lower abdomen to keep pulling the pelvis up. Keep your shoulders relaxed, back of the neck tall. Take a big breath in. And on an exhale, pull yourselves forward and down. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, switch sides. Toes pointing slightly forward, heel pushing into the ground. Push the hips slightly forward first. Keep your knee above the ankle as you lift into Veer Pradrasana, the warrior one. Don't drop your pelvis. Keep the pelvis in check. Keep your back leg very strong. Rooting the heel of the back leg, tearing the ground with your front foot. Drawing energy from the ground. Keeping the neck, shoulders relaxed. You may keep your arms afar. If upright, strains your neck. If your hands are tired, you can also keep your hands on your waist. Modify the posture accordingly. Take a nice breath in. On an exhale, we pull ourselves into plank, Dandasana. You may repeat the same previous posture we did on our knees with Marjari Asana, or we can do a spine wave by actively pulling into a squat, bringing the knees down, pushing ourselves forward, tucking the tail, chest up, and moving straight into Svanasana. Svanasana, legs soft, armpits closed, back broad. Exhale fully. On an inhale, raise your right leg up. On the exhale, pull the leg in as you step forward. Longer step this time. Heel on the ground. Open the hip for Veer Pradrasana Do, the warrior two. The thigh bone of the back leg turning in, the hip turning out, counter rotation as you keep your arms relaxed, neck loose, front leg very strong, back leg very strong. Tear the mat between your feet. On the exhale, we pull ourselves forward and back into Svanasana, dog stance. Inhale, exhale. Lifting the left leg up on an inhale. Exhale to step forward. Toes pointing slightly out this time, heel on the ground. Tall length between the arm. So this is a taller stance compared to warrior one, more distance between your feet. Pulling the rubber band to come into Veer Pradrasana. Turning the thigh bone of the back leg in as you open the hip out, creating counter rotation. Keeping the front knee facing forward. Relax your neck, relax your arms. Take a big breath in. Grab hold of a rubber band, actively pulling the rubber band and moving back into Svanasana. Now, as we have practiced before, there are so many ways to stand up. You may jump forward, you may step forward, or you may walk your hands back and add a squat into this lunge dominant practice. Let's start one more time, keeping your feet shoulder width apart. Pelvis neutral, waist tall, shoulders down, back of the neck tall. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, lengthen up into Tadasana. Actively pulling yourself down in the exhale in Uttanasana. Inhale, sit back into your hips, look up. Exhale, we step the left leg back, keeping the heel off the ground. And on an inhale, we come into Santolasana. On an exhale, we turn towards the front leg as we open the arms out. Either we hold the posture here, we hold the posture steady here, or we come into Namaskar Mudra as we push into the back leg to bring ourselves down, barely touching the knee without dropping any weight. We look down first as we come up into the previous position and catch hold of this rubber band in your back hand to pull yourself into Santolasana and move back into Uttanasana. Inhale, sit into your hips, hinge back, shifting weight on the opposite foot. Spreading the mat with your front leg, pushing the mat with your back leg, create a strong structure with your legs as you come on up on an inhale. And use your exhale to turn towards your front leg. Coming into Namaskar Mudra, taking a breath in. On an exhale, push steadily into your leg as you pull yourself into Parvritta Parshvakonasana. Be patient, hold steady. We go back into the previous position, we push the earth away, turn the pelvis, open your arms, hold rubber band with your left, your back hand and pull into Santolasana. And maintain this pull as you actively pull yourself into Dandasana. Now, you have various variations you can repeat. You may go down on your knees and practice Marjariyasana. You may go down all the way and practice Bhujangasana, or we can do a Gamma push-up, a spine wave, actively pulling ourselves back, pushing through the legs as we lift the chest up and move straight back into Svanasana. We are going to come down on our knees from here. Sit down into Vajrasana and bring your hands on your waist. On an inhale, use your hip to extend upwards. On an exhale, step the right leg forward. Extend the back leg first before using the inhale. You transition into a one-legged balance. Take a breath, raise your arm up, raise your legs up. On an exhale, slowly, softly, shifting the weight back, actively pulling the knee down forcefully, and step back into Vajrasana. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, extending the hips up. Exhale, step forward. Stretch the back leg, push your hip into your heel, extend the back leg first and shift your weight on an inhale into a one-legged balance. Now, you may keep your feet, if this feels very tough for you, You may keep your foot on the ground, you may use bare minimum support from your toes, or you can stand next to a wall and maintain gentle touch with the ball to have a sense of balance. Push the earth away, stand tall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back. Actively pull yourselves down and come back into Vajrasana. Forehead relaxed, cheeks relaxed. Eyes closed. And cross-legged, बैठ जाइए, sit down. Bring your legs out, chest upright, dropping the legs from side to side. And we will stop, let's say towards our right, or you can stop any side. And first, we're going to fall towards the knee and spiral on top of the ankle. जिस रास्ते गए उसी रास्ते वापस. The same way we came in, we're going to spiral our way out as we turn towards the opposite side. First, bend towards your knee and make your way towards the ankle. The same way we went in, we're going to spiral our way out and we're going to turn again. Now, जो भी पाँव पीछे है, whichever leg is behind you, take that leg in, toes pointing inside towards the mat. Bring your palms back. Now, you may hold here steady. If you already have adequate stimulation, please, you do not have to force yourself, you hold here. If you are comfortable in the posture, then you can try to raise your hips up as you extend your knee towards the ground. And we will lower ourselves down very softly. Bring your leg in first and turn through your hips. Bringing the opposite leg inside this time, toes pointing down. Bring your palms back. You may hold here. This is already a very good mobilizing position. Or you can raise the hips up to load the muscle better. Gently bringing yourself down, turning your legs in, come into Badah Konasana. Dorsiflex ankle, pulling the feet slightly apart, squeezing the heel in, inner thighs engaged, groin engaged. Gently moving forward and back, not with your head, with your abdomen, with your whole torso. Carrying the head with the body. About 10 to 15 times, and then we will hold the posture forward. Do not try to reach down, only try to extend forward. Extending yourself forward and up. Bring your legs out. Bringing the knees, keeping the knees off the ground. Point your toes this time. And one more time, same principle, do not force yourself. Very softly, slow, soft movements. Drawing circle on top of your hips. And change circles. Come back to center, moving forward and back. Again, remember, don't try to reach anywhere. Just try to extend forward and pull back. Extend forward and move back. Always think of length, practicing your yoga postures. We will hold forward, neck relaxed, shoulders down, waist tall, spine tall, knees slightly off the ground. Push your heels into the ground to increase or decrease strength sensation. Extending yourselves up, relax. Reverse tabletop position, fingers pointing forward. Remember to lift using your hips again. Don't start pressing just with your palms. Start extending the hip up. Open the hip joint, relax your neck. Pulling yourself down very actively. Lay down on the ground. Holding the heels of your feet, we are going to move into happy baby stretch. We are going to rock back and forth, and one more time. Come on up again. Hands to the ground, fingers pointing forward. Pull through your hip, lift yourself up one more time. Sit down on the ground. Sit cross-legged. Fingers pointing slightly back. Open the hip joint. Lift the hip up, stretching the front of your pelvis. Bring yourselves down. Change the cross of your legs. Extending upwards. Open the hip joint. Lowering down very softly. One more time. Pulling ourselves down without dropping weight. Be easy with your movements. Going back into happy baby stretch. We will stretch into Tadasana from here. Pulling the shoulders down, extending the neck tall. Knees to chest, Pavan Muktasana. Rolling back and forth. And relax, Viram. Lay down on the ground. If you have a block, a pen, or even you can use your phone, you can put it on your stomach. It's a very simple cue. We will try to open the ribs out and try to drop the block or your phone or whatever object you have into the pond of your belly. Now, with each inhale, I will let the object move up, and on each exhale, I will let the object go down. Visualize it like waves in the ocean. The wave goes down before it comes up, and it goes down again. A very simple breathing exercise. We can do it for about 12 breaths. If your time permits, you can set an alarm for 5 to 10 minutes and repeat the same activity. Keep your forehead relaxed, keep your cheeks relaxed. Keep paying attention to your breath. Stay into the exercise. Moving your fingers, moving your toes. Gently remove the object. Turn towards either side or whichever way you prefer. Come into a seated posture. If you would like to practice your Shavasana longer, you may pause the video when we are finishing the practice and follow the instructions while you can hold the state longer. So, I hope the class was engaging yet simple enough for you to follow. I'll see you guys in the next class. Namaste. Have a very Shubh day.